Welcome back, guys. So next on the list I want us to focus on is NZD Swiss. Okay, NZD Swiss is the next pair giving us fantastic opportunity. What I'm anticipating next on NZD Swiss is a push to the downside, but that is not what I want to go for. After this up move is done, I'm anticipating a move to the downside. After that, we'll be heading to the upside. This bullish move is what I'm anticipating. Okay, that move and then the buy setup. At least we'll be expecting the buy setup to go towards 0.47450 to 0.47500 levels, and maybe slightly above. But that is what I'm looking at for next on NZD Swiss. Hello traders, it's Forex Evangelist from Bullish Trend Forex Academy, and welcome to our weekly Forex forecast. Hello traders, so welcome back to the computer screen, and we are going to be looking at the currency pairs we have this week, sharing our update and our analysis again for this week. And we are going to be starting with fundamental analysis, looking at macro, looking at what has happened during the previous week, if there are any geopolitical themes that could be affecting the forex market, and then we move on. Okay, so moving on with starting with what happened during the week. During this week, we saw the Bank of Japan intervention, and we saw how yen pairs we are moving. If I go to a pair like JPY, you could see what was happening here. So you could see the massive move in JPY pairs. That was because of the Bank of Japan intervention. A lot of people were asking me, Forex Evangelist, what is happening with yen pairs? So now you understand. The Bank of Japan often comes into the forex market to intervene and boost the value of yen when they feel that the yen is so undervalued in the forex market. They come, sell their foreign currency that they have and use it to buy their own currency, which is the JPY. This is what most central banks do. Okay, the central banks that often intervene in the forex market, when they come, they sell the foreign currencies in their reserve and buy their own currency to strengthen their currency. Remember, what makes currencies to gain strength is the demand of that currency. So now you will understand. Because for example, if an economy is strong, investors are buying that currency, and that makes that currency to be strong. So if the central bank is now doing it themselves with a whole lot of cash, trying to buy their own currency, that makes that currency to gain a lot of strength, and that is what the intervention is all about in a nutshell. Okay, so starting with fundamentals, in terms of data, here I have CAD, JPY, GBP as my best performing currency to the upside, and AUD, Euro, and CHF as my worst performing currency. Okay, a lot of sentiments are in the market this week. We're still having issues in terms of geopolitical tension. This still coming from high crude oil prices that are elevated, and that is bringing in talks about inflation again among central banks. Okay, when we listen to the Reserve Bank of Australia, they are still saying the same thing. You look at across multiple banks, even the Bank of Japan still saying it. So inflation is now a topic again across analysts and central banks around the world. So moving on, let's look at what we have and also trying to validate that with technicals to see the best opportunities we have moving into the new week. Okay, so the first one we have here on our list is CAD CHF, Canadian dollar against Swiss franc. So what are we anticipating in CAD CHF? So for CAD CHF, I'm anticipating a buying opportunity in CAD CHF. Either after a corrective structure here, price will be going up or under this low. So altogether, what I'm looking at for CAD CHF is an opportunity to buy to the upside for CAD CHF. So the next one on my watch list is going to be EURUCAD. So EURUCAD, last week I was looking for shorts, and when price came to that level, price reacted but didn't give us what we are looking for. It means we were wrong at this point, but being wrong doesn't mean we entered or we lost money. Okay, nobody can be 100% right in the financial market, and that is part of trading. Okay, so here we're anticipating price to react from this level and turn, but that didn't happen when some geopolitical updates came into the market, and that was pushing euro to the upside, and we understood that, and some of us entered the position and was out on little break even, and some didn't enter on our trading floor. So that is fine. So for EURUCAD, I'm still anticipating price to push to the downside on EURUCAD. Any corrective structure here, downside correction, will be an opportunity to look for more sales. Probably something similar to what we have seen here is what I'm anticipating for now, at least for now on EURUCAD. I may not be anticipating a total push to the downside. If that comes, I think the probability is low. But for now, what we are looking at for on our trading floor is a corrective structure, something similar to what we have seen here for the card. Okay, so next on our watch list is AUD card. So if I go to the watch list, you can see card and you can see AUD. So AUD card is one we are watching in for the week. And what we are anticipating on AUD card this week is probably to see if we are going to see a corrective structure on AUD card. So from what I can see here, that corrective structure may not be coming immediately, because I would love to wait and see more waves and structures to know how I'm going to be acting next in the Forex market, in AUD card, because now it seems price here has already given us, a correction downside, and then we are heading up. Maybe that up could be for this. Okay, so I'll wait to see when that is done. Let me try to erase some tools here, some drawings. Okay, so this is what I mean here. This here could be a correction. Now for this downside here, we have gotten this down, and then for this up, that could be the reason we are heading for an upside to give us a complete correction, and then we could be looking for price to continue pushing to downside, because there seems to be an impulse correction and an impulse. So this is what I'll be waiting out for, to see if I'm going to get that. After I push it upside, the move down is what I'll be looking at for next on AUD card. All right, so the next on our watch list is CHF-JPY. For now, CHF-JPY is still moving aggressively to the downside. I'm not going to be doing anything much on CHF-JPY. I'm going to be waiting to see more waves and structures before I'm going to act next on CHF-JPY. But all the same, what I'm looking at for is a push to the downside, because we are now seeing a little bit of strength coming in from data like industrial production to help strengthen the Japanese yen, and more importantly, the Bank of Japan FX intervention this current week. So that is what I'm looking at for CHF-JPY. So I would like to see more waves and structures, and probably a corrective structure up before I begin to look for any opportunity to the downside again. So for now, CHF-JPY is a weak currency, but moving into the new week, you could be seeing a corrective pullback on CHF-JPY. So next on my watch list is EURUJPY. Similar scenario with CHF-JPY. EURUJPY has been buying, all through for weeks now. And if you have been following me, I've been warning on, JPY pairs getting to levels of possible Bank of Japan intervention, and we are getting to those levels. So we're already at that level because the intervention is here. So what I'm anticipating on pairs like EURUJPY. So for pairs like EURUJPY, what I'm looking at for is a corrective structure to the upside, and then I'll be looking for selling opportunity on EURUJPY. So that's what I'm looking at for on EURUJPY. Before I'm going to sell, I'm going to be waiting to see something, for us on our trading floor, what we see as correction. So once we see that, we are going to be looking at for trading opportunities to the downside on EURUJPY, because euro is affected with a whole lot of geopolitical reason coming from high crude oil prices and the blockage of Strait of Hormuz. When crude oil prices are high or energy prices are high, Europe is one of those economies that are affected so much negatively. So that is some of the reasons why we are looking at for EURUJPY shorts. JPY also, on the context of geopolitics and oil energy prices, is also meant to be affected, because 80% of Japan's imported crude oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz, and now we are hearing even the possible and even some few attacks around the Bab el Mandeb Strait. But with the FX intervention and what is happening, and also the sentiment changing to inflationary pressures and central bank raising interest rate, and what we are seeing in terms of data with JPY, I think we could be seeing JPY strength. Now, context matters compared to what we are seeing in euro. So I think strength will a little bit move to yen compared to the euro, because some factors are now coming in to help strengthen the yen more than the euro. Okay. So next on our watch list, similar case with EURUJPY, is AUDJPY. So also, any corrective structure to the upside for us is also going to be an opportunity to look for more selling opportunity to the downside for AUDJPY. USDJPY. So the next on our watch list is GBPUSD. So GBPUSD is probably, all through, the past week now we have been looking for buying opportunities on GBPUSD. So for GBPUSD, we still anticipate price to continue pushing to the upside, but before then, that would be after a corrective structure to the downside. That is when you should be looking for opportunity to push to the upside on GBPUSD. So any correction down, look for buying opportunities to the upside, and that buying opportunity could be going up, taking away the high above 1.09200 levels. Okay, around this level, let me annotate on the chart. Around this level, that is where you should be anticipating price to take away. If we get a corrective structure and price start pushing to the upside, because that is the next thing we are anticipating on GBP Swiss franc. Okay, so next on our watch list is EURUSD. So EURUSD, we have been looking for sales as of last week, but that didn't happen. But we understand our bias and what we are actually looking for, and we are being patient about that. EURUSD is gradually setting up for that. So for EURUSD, any corrective structure to the upside, we are going to be looking at for sales. So any corrective structure here on EURUSD, we are going to be looking for selling opportunities to the downside on EURUSD. All right. So next on our watch list is Pound AUD. We're also looking for buying opportunities in Pound AUD. I'm going to be a buyer, or do nothing with Pound AUD. So for Pound AUD, if price is trying to give a corrective structure here, one more up will be coming, or if price is going to push down to the downside, taking away this low and possibly this low, I'm still going to be looking for buying opportunities. So either a corrective structure here, buy, or under this low, I'm going to be looking for buying opportunities on GBPJPY, because this high here needs to be taken out on GBPJPY. The high above 1.92200 level, that is what I'm anticipating this week on GBPAUD. So for this week, I would like you to also keep an eye on the geopolitical happenings around the world, especially in with the Middle East. We could see more heightened tension and escalation moving into this new week from the Middle East, and that is going to have an effect on currency pair that has links to energy shocks. So the next one, again, you also need to keep an eye on is oil prices. So oil is also expected to push to the upside if we continue to see those heightened escalation in crude oil prices. So for that, we could expect price to give you a corrective structure here downside, one more up coming, taking away this high. So price could give us, after a correction here, price could give us an up move, moving around $85 to $86 per barrel. Okay, I don't know if that is going to move more higher, but after a correction, that is what we are anticipating this week on crude oil prices, or even around 87. Okay, so for US oil, if I see continued escalation still happens around the Middle East, I'm only going to be looking for buying opportunities in the US oil and do nothing. Okay, unless I do nothing, if I'm not seeing the buying opportunity in the US oil. All right, so I wanted to share this because some traders are asking us to share commodities in terms of our analysis. For gold, the structure is still in the making. We need to see more waves before we can update that. This is something we can always usually share with our community members, on our Telegram handle and all of that. But for gold, what we can see for now, I can share a little bit on that. But we want to see more waves and structures before we do the next thing on gold. For gold, here is a corrective structure on gold. We anticipate price to give us, after a small correction here, we anticipate price to give us more than we've probably taken away this low. Okay, it may not, but we are anticipating more than we've before the next buying opportunity on gold. So for gold, we are only looking at to see more sales and then see what happens in terms of geopolitics to see if we are going to be seeing more bullish opportunity on gold. But for gold, for now, to me, on the short term, is looking bearish. All right, so that is it from me to you guys this week. And I know you are liking this video. Please like this video, because that is what is going to be motivating us and making YouTube to recommend our videos to more traders. Because I believe what we are sharing here and the tips we are sharing here is very helpful. Share this video to more traders and click the like button, subscribe, click the bell icon so you get notified anytime we share market analysis and forecasts like this. So you can always watch our previous forecast and see what we have been doing in terms of our analysis and see how how this is helping other traders, and it will always help you to be on the right side of the market. And We're also going to be dropping our Telegram handle, so everybody can join our free Telegram community where we share trading updates and analysis. And sometimes most of these things change during the week, and we are also going to be seeing those updates inside those Telegram community for free. So it's always good you follow us on our trading. You join our trading community and see more market updates, for free. Okay. So thank you very much, guys, and I'm wishing everybody a profitable trading week. And bye for now.